Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of the Jamie Hughes Show. My name as always is Jamie Hughes and today I'm going to be giving you my review of The Commuter. Now if you want to keep up to date with all the latest movie news and reviews, then make sure you hit that subscribe button, and as always with my videos, this review may include spoilers, so you have now been warned. So The Commuter is surprisingly good. I really enjoyed this movie. I genuinely didn't think I was going to. I'm going to be honest, I thought it was going to be really bad. We've had this kind of anthology of Liam Neeson films now that have kind of progressively got worse since Taken, but I think The Commuter is an actual solid movie. I really enjoyed it, and obviously one of the things that makes this movie so great, as I just mentioned, is Liam Neeson. I think he gives a great performance here as the retired cop, come insurance man, come commuter, who then has to turn into a badass basically in 20 minutes, and it's a really fun and entertaining story. Don't get me wrong, it does have its flaws. It's a little bit cheesy in places, but for the most part, I was hooked. I was sucked in by this movie. I really wanted to know where this story was going. It took me on a journey that kept me invested for like nearly all of the film. It was very well done. And I think one of the really cool ways that this movie kept me interested was that it really made everybody feel like a suspect. There was some camera techniques used in this movie where Liam Neeson would be walking through the train and it would just ever so slightly just show you a little close-up of a commuter, another commuter just giving little old Liam Neeson just a little glance. Then he'd walk through another bit of the train and you'd just see in the background of the shot just somebody lift their head up and look like that, and it was really well done. It really built, like, it was really immersive because it was like, oh well, why are they looking so shady? You know, it really built up a kind of whodunit, really classic crime caper style. Another nice thing about this movie is the action sequences. They are very few and far between in this movie, so if you're not a fan of out and out brawling and, you know, rough and tumble fighting movies, then I think you could enjoy this movie. They are very sporadic, and I think that works well, and it goes in the movie's favour that they haven't just gone, yeah, let's have Liam Neeson fight everybody on this train, because it wouldn't work. It's a train. You can't have a fight in every single carriage of this train because people would just disconnect from this movie. But I think there's about 2 or 3, and they're very well choreographed, that they are contained on the train and they don't spill out, and I really like that. And again, just to talk about the train, I think that was another huge positive for this movie, was the set piece of the train. It was done very well. They kept everything fresh. Like, not at one point did this movie feel really repetitive with the set pieces. You know, it's taking place on a train. It's hard to do. It's hard to make it feel like a new place, a new location every time you're on this train, but I think they did that really well by keeping the pace up and having Liam Neeson switch between all these different carriages. It worked really well, and it worked really well for my immersion as well. I did kind of feel like I was on the train with him at some points. So as I said, it is a fun and enjoyable movie. It's not without its flaws by any means. There is cheese layered throughout this movie massively. There is one line that stuck out for me, and it's towards the end with the train conductor, and he goes like, between the people and the trains, I always knew it was going to be the trains. It was like really weird, like it was just so cheesy and over the top. And it is littered with these moments as well, but I think if you can see past them, then it's not going to take away from your overall enjoyment for this movie. If anything, it adds to it because it is a little bit goofy, the whole concept of it anyway. But again, it's just great. Like, it was really fun, and I don't want to stand here and say this movie's terrible, because it's not. It does have its flaws, but it's entertaining, and that's what I go to the cinema to be for, in many different shapes or forms. I go to be entertained. This film entertained me. And then just one thing that I think would have improved this movie for me, like especially, is that I would have liked a little bit more backstory on the supporting characters. So I would have liked to have seen a little bit more of an in-depth relationship with his family, because it was just kind of like his family were used on the phone. We only saw them in like 1 or 2 scenes prior to them being kidnapped. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more backstory with his partner, because that just would have kind of built up to what happens at the end of the film a little bit more. Maybe saw him interacting more with his partner while he was on the train over the phone. And again, it would have been nice to kind of build up a profile for each of the characters that are on the train with him, that he starts to suspect, like, why they are travelling on this train. I just think like building those characters up a little bit more, but then at the same time it was nice that it was kind of kept mysterious. Same with the Joanna character, who was Gillian Anderson's character. We never really find out who she works for, and that was like a gripe that I had with this movie. It's like, oh, we just got to take it as face that she's just like the head of this criminal organization that's randomly, you know, doing this sort of stuff. It would have been nice to have known who she worked for, but again, it was alright that they kept some kind of mystery to it, and that is kind of my review. That's my review, all wrapped up nicely for the Commuter. I say I enjoyed it. It's really fun. It's a really entertaining movie, and as I say, it's not great in places. There is cheese laid all over it, but I think if you see past that and just go in, I want to be enjoyed, you know, you will enjoy it. There are some nice layers to this movie. As I said, the way that they build up kind of the suspicion of each character is very, very well executed, which is really, really nice. And I was trying to think of a way of wrapping up this review, and I've thought of it, and I've thought of a way of summing up this movie as well. So if you take Alfred Hitchcock's Stranger on a Train and Agatha Christie's Murder on the Orient Express, and then they, you know, they're in a nice, happy, loving relationship, and then one night they think, do you know what? Let's spice up this marriage. So they decide to have a dirty little three-way with Speed, and that is what you get with The Commuter. I think it's just a fun and enjoyable movie, and I do suggest you guys go and check it out. But if you have seen The Commuter, then let me know as always what you thought about it down in the comments below. And if you did enjoy this video, then why not subscribe and keep up to date with all the latest movie news and reviews. And why not give it a like as well, because it just lets me know that you're enjoying these videos. Thank you very much for watching this episode of The Jamie Hughes Show. I will see you in the next one. Ta-ra.